Thank you for tuning in to Cocktails with Landy, a variety podcast with the sole purpose to encourage personal development while we discuss different points of view. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and by the way, don't forget your cocktail. On this episode with Cocktails with Landy, let's discuss our Black Kings. Welcome, you guys, to another episode of Cocktails with Landy. Today's specialty cocktail, like I mentioned to you guys before, I said Sunset Passion is actually Passion Sunset. I said it correctly, I think. Yeah. Passion Sunset. Look how pretty it is. Now I like to feel a little sauced up, as you guys know, when I have these type of conversations. And today I have the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Deja Rowe with me.
Good evening.
Amazing singer, songwriter. You guys follow her at
Deja Rowe.
Deja Rowe, right?
Yeah, underscore on our platforms. With the exception of Facebook, there's no underscore.
Okay, so it's Deja Rowe underscore on all platforms. Once this live is over, I'll make sure to put her her tag here. It'll be here. Okay.
Below somewhere.
Below here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, again, welcome. Today we are discussing a very, very special topic. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the specific topic is because I don't feel that us as Black women talk about this as much as we should. So with that being said, I want to discuss our Black Kings.
Yes.
Her Black Kings.
Black Kings. I love that.
Well, and the purpose of the topic today is, as we have this stigma around us as Black women, like we're always bashing you guys. And honey, we're not always doing that.
No, definitely not bashing.
Right.
I think some people have had their share of experiences and they speak from that. However, there are plenty of great Black men out here. So we definitely want to take this time to appreciate on you guys a little bit today.
Okay. And again, you guys, I did take the opportunity before we started to kind of mention we do want to show our respect and our prayers and our condolences to the family of George Floyd and all the others that we've lost recently during all this is going on. And the goal is, you guys, we got to keep going. We got to keep fighting. We got to show them we mean business this time, right?
We finally have their attention. So it's time to start making some demands, start planning, and actually putting together some form of list of what we as the people expect for the government to offer us in return.
Right. And the goal is to actually have a plan. So again, our respects to all of those families. I wouldn't even know how to imagine or fathom going through anything like that with all this criticism that's going on. So going back to what we came here to discuss is our Black men. So again, I know you guys think that we're not checking for you guys. Some of you guys we're not. We really not. Okay?
You know who you are.
They know.
You know who you are.
They know. But we're not gonna. We'll leave that conversation for another day. Because that's gonna be a very long conversation for you guys. We're coming back to you. But today we really want to focus on our Black Kings and let you guys know, as queens, we believe in you. We cherish you. We thank you for being the men that you are. And with that being said, I wanted to kind of have this conversation with Deja and share, I think for me is I'm trying to figure out what is it about our Black men that, this is what I feel. This is my personal opinion. Nobody don't take offense to it or nothing. This is my personal opinion. I just feel like at times they feel like we don't have their backs.
Yeah.
In a sense, as Black women. Yeah. And a lot of the times, maybe because of the way that we interact with them or the way that we move forward with them. And I just want to see, have dialogue around, how can we change that? Because listen, I'm going to let you answer the question, but I got to put this out here.
Go ahead, go for it.
I got a group of ladies looking for this 1%. A whole group of ladies looking for this 1% of men.
Right.
I know it's not a lot. I know we all fighting for that 1%.
Talk about it.
But listen, let's move the margins up a little bit, please,
fellas.
Okay, at this
that's
point,
a call to action.
Okay, at this point we begging y'all, please
step it
that 1%. We're talking to y'all today. So, what is it that you feel as black women that we can do differently to kind of move that margin along?
First of all, I feel that there is this preconceived notion that all men fall under that category. So as women, I think it's necessary for us to start addressing that and confronting that and actually acknowledging the men that are in position to do better and that are doing better. And secondly, I think we also need to start taking ownership in some of the things that we do to trigger.
You heard that?
Trigger those behaviors.
You heard that's a big word, ladies.
So
trigger. Let's
start there, and we'll just unravel a little bit along the conversation.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I feel as women, we do a lot of stuff to get under these men's skin, ladies. There's a lot of us that we complain, we nag. Like I feel like that's like the number one reason I hear from a lot of men.
And to add to that, I feel what we also do is coming from previous relationships, we drive a lot of that baggage into new relationships or just even dating. When you're first getting to know somebody, you automatically assume that this person is similar or might be identical to your experience prior to meeting this person. So you're already setting yourself up for failure doing that. And so I think if we can try to go into those situations with a more open mind and kind of leaving the baggage and dealing with the baggage on our own time and actually healing, taking the necessary time to heal from what we've experienced in past relationships, I think that can also assist our dating game. When we do step to the plate, we have not that we're bringing to the table, but more so like a whole person, instead of somebody that's been in position of being battered or hurt or
Right. And I agree with you maybe 1,000% on that. Because as a black woman, and I can only speak on personal experiences. Right. I can't.
And I'm speaking for myself also. Please don't think that just because I'm dishing it, don't mean that it doesn't apply to myself as well, because I have my flaws.
Right. And I think we all do, and I think the issue is that we as women don't like to address it. We think we got our stuff together. I think based on
we know it all. We got it all figured out.
Exactly.
Everybody's the same, and so it's like you can't tell me nothing. You're not going to be any different from my previous experience. So save it.
Exactly. And I'll be very transparent. I feel like in my situation, I think personally, I've come across maybe my husband or my future, and I passed out on him.
I have to actually agree with you on that, because I think there are quite a few men that I've come across, but because they didn't meet a certain standard or because they didn't meet a certain I would go so far as to being transparent and saying, because they didn't meet either like a certain look or a certain idea of what's supposed to be that guy or what you perceive him to appear as, I think that also has failed or caused me to fail in getting to know people on a deeper level.
Right. And, with that being said, is like, we come across these men, and just like Deja just mentioned, we're not being transparent with ourselves.
Very true.
Right? Yes, we do come across these kings, and maybe those people that are in that, 99%, we can probably gear them to going towards that 1%, 1% to move that margin along. But because we're so stuck, because we've been experiencing all those headaches with those guys in that 99%, that we are not focusing on that 1%. Now, ladies, you gotta understand, there's a lot of people, a lot of women fighting for those guys in that 1%. I'm looking for him, she's looking for him, my producer looking for him, my assistant looking for him. We're all looking for him. Okay, so there's something that we have to do, that we have to kind of transition within ourselves and fix ourselves. Like, just because you think you big, bad, your body here, you got the money, you're working, you got your own thing. Listen, ladies, take it from me. There's a whole bunch of women that got what you got. And I had to learn that the hard way.
And there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with carrying yourself in a certain manner. There's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself. There's nothing wrong with stepping up and being your best self. That's not what we're saying here. I think where we drop the ball in as women. One, sometimes we're not honest with the type of man that we're looking for. We say that that's the guy that
Let's talk about
is ideal, but do we really set out to date that type of man? And then when that person disappoints, it's just like, oh, I knew it, you know?
Let's talk about it.
In all actuality, it has more so to do with like an inner thing that has to be rectified within self, I feel, in order for us to like skip past those processes of keep dealing with the same type of guys and not really meeting
that king.
Right.
Because, you know.
And he exists. No, I see it in plenty of other people's relationships. And I think that's pushed me to want to wait and not actually be so pressed to dive into a relationship, because it's like, nowadays, I'm dating with purpose.
Say it again.
Rewind.
Pull it back. Say it again, sis.
Nowadays, I'm dating with purpose.
Yes.
And there are men that are past that point of just, you know, sleeping with women and just casually getting to know them. There are men that really want to build a foundation. But again, it's us setting ourselves up for that. Where are we going? We can't just keep going to the same place expecting this man to appear in the same place that we've been meeting folks that don't meet
your standards.
The standard.
And I'm a testament to that, right? And I'm gonna be, listen, y'all know I can't hold water. Y'all know me.
Talk about it.
I can't hold water, so I'm gonna
about
let it out, okay? So for me, I feel like, back to what you were saying, I know what the type of king that I want. You know, I know the type of guy that I want in my life. But you gotta make it very clear.
But even when you're talking to God about it, we won't even
take
it to the spiritual level.
We're gonna take it there too.
You have to be very specific with the type of guy.
But what I would share is that I'm going to the same clubs, and you know, I'm Haitian. I work, you know, if you guys know, let me shout out BMG. You know, shout out to Sekla, shout out to DJ Bugs. You know, all y'all my BMG family, love you guys. But so we shouting you guys out. But what I would share is, you know, I recently started, one of my other endeavors is working in the nightlife.
Right.
And you know, I see these flashy guys, and you know, what I had to learn about myself, I have a very, very, very big personality. And with that being said, I've learned that I cannot be with somebody with their personality just as big as mine. And the reason why I say that is because it's like, it's too much attention in the room.
Okay.
You understand? I'm fighting for
the attention. What you don't want to do either is date down to where that person is intimidated by me, feel inferior to
and this is where my king, girl.
Talk about it.
Hallelujah. Listen, this is where my king come in. Because I mentioned this in my last episode.
Okay.
Once my king, so-called leader, walks in, I'm gonna know that's who he is.
Yes, you will.
He's not gonna downplay.
Yes, you will.
He's not gonna downplay, you know, who I am
or
what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
He's gonna just enhance it and want me to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, when that guy, trust me, Dave, when that guy walked in,
so let me ask you
tell
this. What are the qualities that you look for
in a king?
And
I'm gonna keep calling you guys.
Let me correct myself. In a king, black king.
You know, and to be let's be transparent. You know, I don't want the people to think that I'm looking for a black king to shoot. If I can give me a white one, I'll deal with him too. A Chico, you know, a Chinese. You know,
it works.
At this point, listen, fellas.
If it works,
my black kings, I've been waiting a long time.
She's like, I'm not discriminating.
You know, I ain't discriminating. I'm finna leave it open. You know. But with that being said, what I'm looking for is someone, a king that challenges me, and I can challenge him. And he does not get intimidated of the fact that I want us to do better. You know, the one thing I notice about that 99%, and again, this ratio is something I made up, y'all. Don't go researching and think it's for real. But
these are not real statistics, guys.
Or whatever. Just you know, numbers out. But what I would share is, is that coming across these type of men, it's become very difficult for them to communicate. It's like, and I understand, It's like they feel it. They want to say something. In your mind, you thought you told me.
Yes.
In your head, you told me, but you never told me, and you just expect me to just go off. Oh, she sees I'm not talking to her today, so she must know how I feel, or vice versa. My king, he's going to be a communicator. Back to the the list that I'm looking for. Because listen, if y'all know me, I talk a lot, Deja.
Okay.
Deja, I know, I recently just started talking to you, but girl, I talk a lot.
It's alright.
Okay, when I talk a lot, I'm a communicator.
You're vocal.
I'm very vocal.
There's nothing wrong with that.
People that know me, I don't like texting. Call my phone. Don't text me because I'm a keep
But see,
phone.
it's good that you make that clear up front.
Yeah.
And again, going back to being honest with yourself, if somebody doesn't meet that standard, don't try to mold and shape them into that, because guess what? That's where people clash.
Okay. Hold on. My producer told me you guys have a question.
The question is, what kind of guy would you like in your life?
Okay. Who's asking?
It sounds like we're about to have a dating show on next episode.
But the type of guy, again, going back to the type of guy that I'm looking for, he has to be a strong man. He needs to be strong. And when I mean, that's what he needs to be a strong individual. Because again, that talk game, listen,
that's not enough.
It's not enough, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of this. A lot of you guys do this. This is very easy to do. I do this for a living, all day. So with that being said, I need you to be able to showcase, back up what you're saying.
Okay.
If you are my king, you're gonna want me to be in a better situation. If she had one house, how are we gonna get you to 2, 3, and 4?
Okay, so let me challenge you on that.
Yeah.
With that expectation,
right?
With the men that you ideally would like to date, how do you feel about that in reverse? What do you offer that king?
Friend, okay, now.
We gotta take it there.
Hold on now.
People want to know.
She is taking it there. What I would say is, and it's taken me a while to realize this about myself, right? And what I would share is the fact that I'm stubborn. I don't like to listen. I want it my way. I think
we all have a little bit of stubbornness in us.
I want it my way or the highway, and I had to learn that it doesn't work like that all the time. Sometimes it's a give and take situation. Right. So with that being said, what I've recently learned about myself is being patient.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Not only being patient, being transparent and being clear in what it is that I want. So what do I offer him? Yes, I can say the list of things like all these other ladies say that they offer, I got my own place, I got this. I can say all that.
Well, yeah, that the financial thing is not necessarily.
That's not
all men don't focus on the financial aspect with women, because they feel like they already are able to contribute that.
Right. So what I would share right now is the number one thing I can say I offer is a peace of mind. You can't pay for that nowhere, baby.
Talk about it.
What's the question?
What if he's shorter than you?
I think that's a deal breaker for me. For me personally, it's a deal breaker.
Let me tell you why. It's a deal breaker.
You at what, 5'5"?
Listen, I'm 5'8", maybe 5'7".
I think you're not about the same height. Yeah.
And I wear heels all the time.
Baby, listen, the way this ride is set up, you gotta be at least 6 feet to ride.
Girl, the ride. We stallions over here. This is not. These ain't no little, ponies. These some stallions. So, but listen, not to say that I might find my king in that, that short guy. Try it.
God forgive me.
But,
I think we have to pass.
Girl, but when I had the heels on, like he just kept looking up.
There's this awkwardness to it.
Yeah, it's just so awkward. He kept asking me, was I comfortable?
Aww.
So you have to be comfortable in your skin before you ask questions. You have to be like, okay, I'm comfortable in myself, and I could date me a 6'2".
Right now I'm hearing my god sister in the back of my mind saying, well, y'all the same height in the bed. I'm sorry, I just had to put it out there.
We are the same height in the bed, but I guess the question is how long you're lasting there, but that's another topic for another day. But with that being said, it's I guess the question will go back to you. What is it that you feel you bring to the table for your king?
Okay, so I'm the kind of girl, I'm known as the one that's always trying to encourage this man, speak to his potential, try to help him advance in areas that I feel that he might just be lacking in. And it's been a blessing and a curse, because I would say as good as it can be for him, sometimes it's not very beneficial for the woman because he winds up upgrading. And
I know that.
We know the rest,
I
right?
know that feeling.
So I feel like that I offer that, but should I go into the dating world again, I need to know that is being reciprocated. So that's very important for me. But as far as what I have to offer, I think emotional support is definitely like a number one factor. I'm spiritual for the most part. I won't say I'm religious or anything like that, but I think prayer and establishing like a foundation with God within that next relationship is very important. Yeah. And we have another question.
There's some comments.
Oh, we got comments.
What the people say?
But just to wrap up that, I feel that just being there mentally, spiritually, there to encourage him. And again, like you said, that peace of mind. Because it's like, as much as we try to figure men out and make sense of what they do, nothing amounts to just being that peace of mind and speaking to the king that's inside of him.
Yeah. Comments.
So one of the comments were, that is why short people have problems.
Which is true, and I'm sorry, short people. Forgive me on that. It's just a preference.
And the question is, due to the fact that he is short, you know, he could be right in front of you and you'll pass him up.
Again.
Pretty much.
You're right.
Absolutely.
You're right.
I can't.
I'm not sure.
That.
I'm not sure who asked that question, but I'm so sorry. But you are absolutely correct. But
I feel
I need to be comfortable.
Comfortable is what, and I know that the God I serve. He told me to
let's,
be very
specific. Let's talk about that.
So,
let's talk about that. I want us to talk about that there. Because let me tell you, a lot of these ladies think the Lord just wants you to be like, oh Lord, thank you for today, and thank you for this job, and thank you for this. You need to be specific on what you need from the Lord. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm talking about from the head to the toes and the type of man you're looking for.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm talking to you, sister. I know. I'm talking to you. Over there, like, why the Lord ain't send me mine in? Listen, he ain't send me mine in because I'm very specific.
Specific is one, and then I think sometimes God is still working on us as individuals too.
And that, because again, before I come to my king, because when my king come to me, he's gonna be like, that's my queen right there, like that. He ain't even got to look. He's not even he's gonna be able to acknowledge it right then and there, take control, and be like, listen, that's my queen, and no other king, no potential king finna come take her from me. Right. Period. So with that being said, this is where, again, back to what you're saying, Deja, is working on yourself. Listen, I haven't been single this long just for me to be like, okay, I just want to jump back in a relationship just to be with anybody. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But what I would share is the fact that, you know, you have to be specific when you're speaking to the Lord. Mm-hmm. You know, down to the way he talks to you, the way he caters you, the way that household, the way he manages his money, if he's leadership skills. Listen. At this point, ladies, down to what he do in the bed, because I asked for that too. Ooh. I'm not. Listen. We're not gonna play about it. Yes, the Lord gives me what my heart wants, and that's one of the things that I need in my king. He need to be able to satisfy me. Okay, so you need to be specific on what you asking the Lord that you want. So again, just like yourself, I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual and I'm a faithful person. Right. And I really believe in the God that I serve, and the God that I serve, he gonna send me my king. Because honey, I've been waiting for you.
We have another question?
Yes. What is the hardest thing about a man that you don't understand?
You want to take that one?
They got me Oprah over here, but what I would share is, what is the hardest thing about a man that I don't understand? That's the question. I think the hardest thing for me is the communication piece. It's something that's so easy, but yet so hard for them to do. You know what I mean?
I agree. And to touch on that, what's weird is how one thing can appear one way, at least to you. You perceive it in one sense. Yeah. But it's like with certain men, it just doesn't come across like that. Mm-hmm. Like y'all could be dealing with the same exact scenario, yet perceive it so differently. Mm-hmm. And trying to communicate that to your significant other or your partner, it feels like a fight or a battle almost. Because they just can't get your point. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how do you not see
what is it that we're for
what I'm trying to express to
Yeah.
you.
And again, it's just like that's my personal experience as to what I believe.
So what do you recommend though in cases like that?
So what I would share is, I think if guys just communicated more, and I think, listen, again, this goes back to my first point, where ladies, we be driving these men crazy with the nagging. Like, we nag them too much. Like, what you doing? Who you with? Why you there? Like, listen, the men, they tired.
What I've learned from that is, if that man's gonna do, baby, he is
Gonna
to
do.
without
Believe,
your permission.
period.
So it's like to put yourself in a predicament where you're constantly stressed out about his whereabouts. It's not necessary.
It's not. And
Get you your own stuff lined up. Find your way of thinking. Get you some hobbies. Like, keep yourself occupied with you and try your best to work around what that relationship has to offer. But if that's the sole thing that you focus on, you're gonna run yourself crazy.
No, you're definitely gonna go crazy, because look, for me, like, I've learned, and this is the guy I haven't found yet.
Okay.
I'm a very social person. I'm a very fun person. Okay. Everybody that knows me, they call me.
You to turn up.
Everybody know that. You know, like, I'm the person. Like, I'm a.
You bring life to the party.
And, you know, that's who I am. Yeah. So with that being said, there's different environments that I like to be in.
Right.
So I need to be able to call my king and say, listen, babe, this is where I want us to go. Come on, let's go. Because the type of fun I want, if you're fun, I'm fun. Let's enjoy life. Life is way too short for me to be dwelling on who calling your phone, baby, because I don't care. Because, honey, if I'm the girl for you, nobody else will be calling your phone. Or if they are calling their phone, they're trying to figure out why you with me. So that's where I'm at with it. But with that being said, you know, that's where I'm at with that. But with that being
But see, that's when you take the mature approach.
Yeah.
And the grown woman approach.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, again, your focus shifts.
It does.
You no longer are concerned with the if and the maybes. It's like, I'm who he chose. And if he knows well enough what he chose, this is where he wants to be. So
okay. So, but, you know, I would for sure kind of share is that, you know, men, kings, and I just want to bring it back to our kings. Listen, we have queens out here that need you.
Yes.
We need you guys to step up.
Especially at this unprecedented time.
We're begging for you. We're begging for you. We're crying for you at this point, because we need our leaders. You know, Deja, you're Haitian, I'm Haitian, and as you know, we were the first country ever to,
abolish slavery.
To abolish slavery.
Independence.
But you know who did this? Our kings. These were black kings. And their black queens followed them. So we need you guys. Like, right now, I'm looking all over the place and everybody everywhere. Everybody got this cat. And this is why it's so easy to come in and dismay what's going on, because we're not united. And it takes us as women, maybe, again, back to what I said in my last episode, we're the next in this situation. Yes, they're the heads. They're the head of the household or head of whatever, but we are the next, and we need to kind of guide them on where they need to be. Maybe that conversation, if he's that king and he want to go, listen, the man working at the bank, but the man like to cook. He want to go to culinary school. He making great money at the bank, and you're like, oh.
You have to allow
that man to do
that.
that.
To pursue his
allow him
passion.
to do that.
It's
You
true.
know, listen, the guy wants to go out with his friends or with his guy friends, and you on his hip listen, let that man breathe. Because if he's going to do it, he's going to do it. Trust and believe. He's going to do it. So, as our black kings, we need you guys. We need that margin. I'm not praying that it happens 50-50. Damn, let me get 20% of y'all. Like, at this point. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that change is actually happening. It's going to take a while, but I think a lot more people are aware. There's a kind of like an awakening happening with this whole revolution that's taking effect. And men are starting to see how they need to both level up and step up to the plate.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. So I want to kind of start this last part of the show or podcast over to some questions. If you guys have them, I'll leave them open for a little while, where you guys can ask us questions, comments, what you guys want to hear, what you guys would like to discuss. We would love to answer those questions for you. But while we're waiting for that, again, we really need to kind of, ladies, work on ourselves. With these kings, like I said, it's not that many of them, There's a lot of jokers and a lot of princes now. There's some princes now. If you want to deal with a prince, that's okay too. You know,
but again, a prince can be formed
into a king because he's in line. He's in line to do that.
Exactly.
So,
and I know a lot of people, they try to date and work with, I should say, potential. And that's not always the healthiest way to date, because sometimes those types of men aren't really ready for the relationships that women like ourselves are looking for.
Right.
Yes. You have another question?
How do you handle a man that's not financially stable but ready?
I think finances can always be something that's workable. However, it really just depends on where you're at in life as well, because you might have certain bills that he's unable to meet, and not to say that you solely rely on that person, but if you know that it's becoming a burden for you, then you're going to have to think twice on if you really want to take that on.
Yeah. I think from my perspective, back to what you're saying, is where you are.
Right.
And secondly, where do you see that guy being? Like,
is there a plan?
Is there a plan? Listen, he might be struggling now.
Right.
But 2 years from now,
is he working towards something?
so
like
if
if he's in school or something like that, and he decided, take a couple of years or months out to focus primarily on school, then okay, that's something that you can work on. But it really just depends on that individual.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have a plan, now that's another conversation. Right. If he doesn't have a plan and he's like, hey, I don't know, then sis, you know what
you have to do what's best for yourself at that point.
The ladies,
and it's okay to be selfish sometimes, guys. Go ahead.
The ladies are agreeing. They're saying amen.
Hallelujah.
Glad we're on one accord.
We are one accord. But again, don't be like, I know we work very hard, and fortunately, I don't want to use the word unfortunately. It's fortunate enough that we've come to the point where we have to work extra, where we have to do more and take on
to overcompensate
for those guys that are not stepping up.
The slack.
And then ladies, listen, I'm sorry, I gotta look at the camera and talk to you.
Oh boy.
Listen.
It's getting real.
Listen.
Right now.
Stop making it so easy for these men. Stop making it so easy for them. We need to make them work. Then we need to develop more kings. And the easier you keep making it for them or making excuses for them, we need to stop. Because these men were placed on, or God created them to be leaders, to be kings. Right. So we have someone to kind of follow. Yeah. We need to stop making it easy and making excuses and just taking things, just taking whatever they do. Because
whatever they offer. Yeah.
Again, going back, I'd rather have a piece of man than to have any man. Listen, you're worth more.
So much.
You're worth
not
way
the type
more.
Of mindset or the mentality that we need to adopt, especially not in this time and age, because you got to look at it from this standpoint. Like, life is moving with or without you. Things have to go on, And so for you to just sit there and lower yourself down to a level to just accept a piece of man over being complete, it's like, why would you settle for that?
Yep.
You owe so much more to yourself. You need to understand what your value is. And once you get what your value is, that can help you to determine and even be able to block out some of the foolishness that comes your way and be able to discern who to give your energy off to.
You have a question?
Another question?
What do you think is the cause on the shortage of kings for women?
I mean, there's a shortage of black men, period. They're incarcerated. They're dating other races, if you really want to take it there. And again, with race being a factor, what type of king are you looking for? A lot of men weren't really brought up in households where they were asked to uphold that type of a standard. And they, not to make any excuses, and it doesn't justify anything, but they didn't have a role model to really set that standard. So there are quite a few factors.
I want, again, taking it back to having kings and being raised in household. Kings are raised since babies.
Yeah.
Look at Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth been training kings her whole life.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? So this is not something, it's very hard for us to kind of come and try to change that. this is something that they've learned, you know, since
Over
birth. A lot of our men, maybe the fathers are home, but they have a family. Listen, they have a family on WhatsApp. If y'all know what that is, he have a family on Facebook.
There's no example.
So that's what the guy knows. So he feels like, well, my mom took it, so I can find no other woman that's gonna take that. But we're just going.
Nobody is breaking
the cycle.
That's been a huge issue.
That's a number one issue.
And nobody really has influences or positive influences in their lives that could actually assist in helping mold and shape them into those type of men.
Comments.
Someone said they're either going gay, and then there's also one that said that you guys are too picky.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
I beg to differ. I'm not that picky when it comes to men, but I would say I have it's just when I'm attracted to somebody, I'm attracted to that person. It doesn't have anything to do with looks. It doesn't have anything to do with finances, the type of job that they do, or what have you. Although I do feel for myself, there's a certain level that I try to meet for myself. Now, with a man coming and him placing himself in my life, I look more so where his heart is at, where his head is at, what does he want to accomplish over a period of time. So I don't necessarily agree with being too picky. Maybe there are some women that are, but for myself, I'm gonna have to beg to differ.
The word picky, maybe that's your word of choice, but these are called, my love, standards.
Right.
That's what they're called. They're called standards. So when you have standards, there's certain things that we're not,
and people just don't have to adhere to. I'm sorry.
So those are if you want a different caliber of a woman or a man, there's certain. Listen, you can't go over to, if you are a doctor, you can't go over to the top hospital of whatever of the country. Oh, you know what? I worked at the community clinic for whatever. No, if you want to work at this particular caliber, there's certain standards that comes here.
Qualifications.
That have to be met. And if you want to if you want to go from here to here, you need a woman with standards. Not a picky woman, a woman with standards. Yeah, and that's a huge difference.
You have to be able to differentiate.
You need to be able to differentiate that.
Yeah.
There are some men that was in a household with women, they didn't have a father figure to look up to.
Yeah, we spoke on that. If you're just joining, we definitely did speak on this. A lot of men that didn't have that example that was set before them early on. So that plays a major role in why they're kind of lost on how to be a leader if they were never led.
Yeah, they're being led by their moms. They're being led by their mothers who are women.
And granted, women, we rock. However, there are certain things that
we can't teach them. We can't teach them.
Can only learn from.
We can't teach them. Yeah, you're right, and we can't teach them certain things. You know what I mean? So that I definitely, agree with that statement.
Another comments.
What are we doing for my birthday? Y'all can find a man once we plan my event.
That was from who? Who's that?
Hot Rod.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna sip to that too.
Right. Because honey, Rod.
About that, we'll get back to you.
See you about that. That's Hot Rod. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you.
Any more questions?
No. Okay, so just to kind of wrap this up, I sincerely thank you, Deja. Thank you. Again, you guys can catch her on all her platforms. She is a singer, songwriter. Listen, guess who's gonna be singing at my wedding with my kid?
You're back with that talk again.
Girl, I'm not playing with her.
She's so serious.
I am not playing with her.
She has repeatedly told me
you gotta speak it into existence.
Absolutely,
Lord.
but it's
I gotta
not
speak
manifestation.
We manifested, and she's gonna be singing at my wedding.
Indeed.
In a couple years. I feel it in my spirit.
I feel that sooner for you.
You do? Yeah. Lord, I feel it in my spirit.
I feel that sooner for you. I think you're definitely ready, and you're working towards becoming.
Yeah. That situation. I keep praying for me, and I would appreciate it. Oh, we got another comment.
Great show, boo. That's from Sexy Love.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
So, how long you ladies been single?
Y'all want the truth?
Exactly.
Okay, so
I'm gonna let her answer first.
Officially single. Okay. My last actual relationship was about 2.5, 3 years ago, but I literally cut off dating, everything. I've been abstaining. I cut off dating for the last 1.5 years just to buckle down and focus in on me. So officially for the last 1.5 years, but my last actual relationship was about 3 years ago.
I'm embarrassed.
Ooh.
Shame
Shame the devil, girl. Shame the
I've
devil.
been single going over 6 years.
Okay.
Like six plus years.
Okay. Have you dated all in between?
Dated, but nothing serious. Nobody that.
No
one that.
candidates?
I don't want to say potential, but no one that would say, "Oh, he had a key to my house," or "I had a key to his house."
Okay.
And then I had people that claimed me though. That's a different story.
Yeah, they see. Yeah, that.
Honey,
We'll have that conversation
later. So let's be clear about that. But in a real relationship where we're talking about these deep conversations, maybe like 6 years ago.
Okay.
But I'm looking for them.
Someone commented that they can sing too, and another person commented that they'll be walking in that wedding. So.
Yes.
I guess you're gonna have two singers.
Girl, I got somebody at the reception. Listen, this is gonna be a movie. Y'all know me. If you guys know me, you guys know that I like to put on a show. So if I have to have you at the wedding or the reception, or if I have to have you at the wedding, we're gonna make it happen.
We'll make it work.
Yes. Question.
How is your sex life during quarantine?
Well,
I don't
have
life during quarantine.
I don't have a king to have a sex life with. So
if you didn't catch what I said before, I have been abstaining, like doing without for the past year and a half. So.
I don't have a king to have a sex life with. So unfortunately, this is my sex life right here. This passion sunset.
Mm-hmm. And this pink Moscato,
unfortunately,
has been.
Comments.
There's someone volunteering to host at the reception.
Okay. I told you, I feel that for you.
Bring it. The Lord. I've been praying real hard, y'all. I've been praying a lot. Okay, because I'm tired.
Y'all gotta touch and agree, like hit a heart or something over there, so we can all come into one accord and agree on this whole manifestation of a man.
Yeah, this is gonna be amazing. Listen, I know it's gonna happen for us. Again, I'm solely focused on enhancing, uplifting our Black kings. We love you. I love you. Absolutely. If nobody haven't told you that, like, there's nothing more beautiful than a strong Black man. Like a strong, when he walk in the room,
his presence
just takes control of the room.
Yes.
Like he tilts the room just without even saying anything.
Yeah.
We need to help. We need help, ladies. We need to help them get there, because the majority cannot be in the 90s. Like, that's just ridiculous. That we have all these women fighting for that 1%. So there's too
I
many.
think we have more comments coming in.
Question. Oh, okay. They're not really like this.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready for us tonight? Go ahead.
When you find your king, would you give him a kid?
Which one? Who you talking?
Before or after the marriage? Let's start.
Let's assume you guys are married. Okay.
I mean, I definitely want to become a mom. Although I do fear, my biggest fear, I should say right now, is just the way the world has been shifting. I fear bringing a kid into this chaos. So I have certain reservations behind that. But yeah, having a child for him, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
For me,
I don't have any children, so let me throw that out there. That's why it probably wouldn't be that much of a big deal.
Let her throw that out there.
Yeah.
Let her throw that out there. Let me see. Let me go for me.
Go.
Now, I'll be very transparent. I have 2 daughters, right? And I'm a single mother.
Right.
And my number one fear is becoming a single mother again.
And that is also another thing that I fear, not necessarily because I won't be able to handle my own, but I do want to make sure whoever I'm involved with is actively involved in their child's life.
Right. Like,
should we not work out?
Like me, my kids' dad, they're actively involved. They're in their lives, but that's not what I want. I want that.
Of course.
I want that
family
unit. I want the family unit. If you're going back to the question for me,
right?
I only got one more baby in me. One. You better pray to God. If we do in vitro, you get 2. Right. But outside of that, I only have one baby in me, and that one baby, I gotta be very honest with myself.
With that one.
Not even that. Like that one baby. Yeah. I would prefer that, if he doesn't have kids, he needs to be content with that one, and if we get lucky, we get 2.
Okay.
That's okay. But my number one fear, because I love kids, I always have children. I'm a cheerleading coach. Like, I have kids at my house all the time, so I love children. That's not my issue.
Right.
But my issue is, again, being a single mom and doing this by myself again, and I'm not in the mental to do that. Like, I'm not doing that.
That's fair.
Period. I'm just not gonna do that.
That's fair. Any more questions?
Someone has said, set up so they can catch the bouquet.
What? That hit me. Why y'all not putting me be down with my king first. Where is he?
Someone said, give that man a baby.
Oh, where?
There is no time for marriage now. COVID-19.
Ruined all of that for half of these weddings.
So,
Lord.
the Lord knows this is, in the future. But listen, I know y'all want to be a part of the wedding, but I know, if you guys come across these individuals.
I'm open to however it happens.
Right.
It happens.
Someone say do a cheerleader dance.
Okay.
Listen,
what Beat. Hey. Say Black Kings. Hey, beat. Hey. Hey. Black Kings.
So just to kind of end it, again, thank you.
Thank
The
you,
lovely
guys.
Deja Roll. Once this is over, I am going to definitely put how you can find her on all her platforms.
Yes,
listen,
yes,
she
yes,
can
yes,
sing
yes,
for
yes.
real. I'm not even playing for real. Listen.
What,
She got to jump.
What you want?
Jump one of your songs. Just something for the people.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. Would you take for granted another man would cherish? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Would you take it for granted?
Oh my God, I can't wait for my wedding. Y'all. It's gonna be
I'll say
so
this
lit.
later.
It's gonna be so lit. The amazing
Thank you, baby.
Deja Roll. Thank you so much. Our Black Kings, we love you. Listen, we're gonna share this live.
We honor you. We
Please,
respect you. And that's another thing. I think a lot of times when we clash, we fail to understand that women, we look for love out of men, and men look for respect out of us. So that is a very
That's the
special
word.
place that we need to start at working in relationship and learning how to respect our men, and men learning how to love on your women.
That's the word. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Cocktails with Landy. Please, every Monday at 9.
Monday at 9 p.m.
Live, share the live, people.
Please.
If you like
Tag
the
a
conversation,
friend.
tag a friend, share it, tell somebody else about
Like,
it.
comment, share, put it in your Insta stories.
Please, I would really love your support. This is something that I did out of, I just felt like this is a conversation that needed to be had within our community. So please, share, however you have to get it out to the people. Let's get this out to the people. And we appreciate you. Cheers.
Good night. That looks like it tastes good.
No, it is. It's really, really good. And we're... Catch Cocktails with Landy every Monday on Instagram, Landy_brand.